Alright, Shalom. Before I begin this video, all praise, honor, and glory goes into Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, as well as the sincere salutations, alright, to the elder bishops. Alright, enough respect to you brothers worldwide, teaching and preaching the truth of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Right, the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all throughout the four winds of the earth. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barak Atham. And to you, brothers. And, putting these videos up, I think specifically on this app, this little circle, it keeps disappearing, at random times throughout, the past few days, trying to make videos, videos going away and whatnot, different things. Yet we gonna keep pushing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, and then the Wall Street Journal, there's an article based on these alliances, these other countries having these alliances against America. So the title of this lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is these alliances have biblical meaning. Right? It says Kim Jong-un and Putin to join, his name is Xi Jinping, in show of unity at Beijing military parade. All right, so the quote-unquote president of China, president of Russia, president of North Korea, right? Like it says here, they're taking the opportunity to present, this country as a global power, which these two right here, ultimately these future slaves, you heathens, your ass going into captivity. Now, of course, you have the Israelites scattered abroad, Yet we know that there's a significance, to the leadership. These are the leaders. These are the faces. This is basically the face of Moab. So he basically got to be a Moabite. All right? Because, of course, once again, the Israelites are scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. Yet when it comes to leadership, when it comes to the face of these heathen nations, like for example, whoever the president of France is, he's most likely an Edomite. The president of Germany and whatnot, he's most likely an Edomite. Now they could be Jakes, but right now in this present time, we know for a fact, right, that especially Xi Jinping, this nigga proud. You can see how proud he is on his face. He a Moabite. I'm gonna just step out on a limb and just say that he's a Moabite. So I'm gonna just read some of the article. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un plans to join Russia's Vladimir Putin at China's Grand Military Parade in Beijing next week in a show of unity and defiance of the West. So not only are they showing unity within themselves, but they're showing defiance to the West, which really, they might as well say defiance to America. That's what the West represents. Basically America. Now, of course, everyone in the world has been westernized. You know, so as much as Russia is against, you know, westernization, nigga already westernized. They got KFC over there. You know, they got transmissions over there. LG, you know, all that. So the philosophies, see, they fighting a battle that they've basically already lost. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un plans to join the West. The parade on Wednesday will be hosted by Chinese leader Xi Jinping, and it's set to be the trio's first event together. So there's a significance to that. People just living their life because, like the elder Apostle Tahar said, they're spiritually retarded. So the average Babylonian walking around not understanding that the face and the head of quite arguably some of the most lethal enemies to this place are set to meet together. I mean, it's so many places. And see, what they don't tell you as well is all these nations, they in cahoots with each other. Iran deals heavily with Russia. You know, China deals heavily with Russia, different parts of the Middle East, different parts of Africa. The only people that are for America are Americans. Okay? Now, once again, it's the leadership. The leadership is leading these people to these conclusions, which ultimately is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, like you go over to China, the so-called Chinese, you have a lot of them, even though they say they hate, America and all that, they go about things in a way in which they support America. All right, so they sitting here, they talking bad about America, yet they're completely influenced. That's the strength of that wine. Wine and brothers have drunk wine. At first he'd be like, nah, I ain't drunk. This grape juice. I ain't drunk. Next thing you know, boom, that shit hit you. So the leadership of these different countries, they understand what time it is. Their citizens don't know what time it is. Same with America. All the leadership here in America understands what's going on, what's taking place, what's about to happen. It's just the average Babylonian don't know what's going on. And that's why these meetings, there's a significance to these meetings. The Lord is bringing them together. All right, like people say in the world, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So shit, they could hate each other's guts. Xi Jinping can sit here and talk shit about Putin all day, but they can both agree that they hate this place. Russia think they up next. China think they up next. They're in competition, they're competing, yet they can be in agreement that they hate this place. That's the Lord setting that up. But it says it's set to be the trio's first event together, providing powerful optics. Right? So it's gonna be a lot of eyes on this. People turn on the news, oh, yep, that's just another news day. Hell no. There's a significance to this. And see, the Lord's so cold with it. He'll have some slow news days which is never a slow news day. But as far as presenting it to the public, you may not have some. And then boom, all of a sudden something happened. Salakia. But it just like being sick. Been battling being sick. The past week. At first you like, nah, no, I'm not getting sick. Then boom, all of a sudden it hits you. And that's how it's gonna be up in here, man. People gonna go from okay, whatever, to boom, full blown, you jacked up. All right, but anyways, it says asserts itself as a leader of countries. So Moab flexing his muscles, seeking to upend the U.S.-led international order. Yeah, so we know currently right now that, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, is the face of the world when it comes to technology, when it comes to finance, when it comes to everything. And the Lord has made these other leaders delusional to believe that they up next, that the whole world is going to be following them in the things that they do in the future, not knowing that they're going into fucking captivity. Because it's going to go from U.S.-led international order to the order of Yahweh Hashem Shai. See, that's what they don't expect, right? Because they're spiritually retarded. Somebody who has, limited cognitive abilities, they don't have the ability to recognize and to see what's happening and what's taking place. Anybody who has been around somebody with, special needs, whatnot, there is no like plan in the head. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna da. No, they don't have the ability to cognitively think about things. See, our people, the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're spiritually retarded. And it takes the Lord to show and to reveal to you through the Holy Spirit the things that must come to pass. Prophecy. The breaking down of these scriptures. And in order to do that, you need teachers. So it's literally like a reversal. And we went from spiritually retarded to, genius level through the Spirit. We know things through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It ain't us. Right? It's the Lord. Lord's will we be of the elect, shining within us. It says, yet the potential for the three countries to build on the moment faces limits, as each pursues its own agenda with the U.S. It says a summit between President Trump and Xi before the end of the year is possible, as China seeks a reduction of U.S. tariffs, which of course, this financial strain is just like in a household. If you got financial strain, you're going to have some fucking issues. It's just like at a company. If you got any sort of financial strain, you're going to have some issues. So this place has financial strains to it. Therefore, it's going to have issues. Right? Because financial retaliation leads to a physical retaliation. See, because these other nations is tired of you playing with their money, because they don't want to say it. They don't want to bring it up. But, in their back rooms, cussing y'all out. These fucking, these fucking Americans, they putting the squeeze on us. And not knowing that ultimately, right, it goes back to these bankers, man. Right, whether you call them the elite, the 1%, it don't matter. They are the Edomites. They are the top class of Edomites, and they ass going into captivity as well. So the Lord's got it balanced out, man. Them meeting up together, and let's get the precept on that. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Roughly paraphrasing. So y'all can come up with all these different agendas and summits and do all this fucking paperwork and all this talking and all the, draft up all these resolutions. It don't matter. Y'all going into captivity. All right, the Lord ain't playing with y'all. This is a time of revelation. Okay, not only revealing who the Israelites are, but also who the other nations are, who the heathen is. And let me just cut the screen in half. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, and verse 21. Though hand join in hand, right? So these motherfuckers, they joining together, they coming up with a resolution. Okay, this is what we gonna do. This how we gonna trade. This gonna be our currency. This how we gonna go about it. The wicked shall not be unpunished. Yeah, so all this planning is for nothing. It's for nothing. See, we understand and we know this. It says, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So the elect are going to be saved out of this hell. Right? It's going to be pure hell and anarchy coming to Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. Okay? It's going to be motherfucking troops coming up. Red Dawn. Red Dawn type of action. Okay? Motherfuckers coming out, coming out the sky, parachute. These motherfuckers gonna come with amphibious vehicles. They got something. And see, the Russians, man, the Lord, like that, the Elder Apostle Hart always speaks on. The Lord put a specific hatred in a Russian's heart, so-called Russian's heart, towards this place. Out of all the nations, out of all the different nations, even though the Russians are Edomites, out of all the nations, you got to say without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called Russians have the most hatred towards Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. That's just how the Lord set it up, right? And put them in a leadership position. Proverbs 11 and 21. But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Yes, we ain't worried about this shit. We ain't worried about, man, I don't want to have to learn how to speak Russian. I don't want to have to learn how to speak Chinese. We ain't going to have to worry about that. Lord's will, we're of the elect. The Lord is going to deliver us. Right? Because with this fighting, with all this, okay, prior to World War III, this CHIP got to be implemented. So that's a sense of control. See, these other nations, man, they don't want to get fucking chipped. Now they gonna do it. They gonna do it, but they gonna understand ultimately, shit. This ain't our currency. This ain't our system. It's gonna make them buck even harder, especially once y'all take it. Cause see, once y'all take it, shit, you that's what you're doing now, right? See, the old is not going to mix with the new. You're not gonna have people walking around, okay, I just want to pay all, I just want to pay all cash. When motherfuckers got the chip like that, all these other currencies are going to be a thing of the past. It's all going to come down to, okay, what you got in that C-hip. Okay. In that C-hip, in the currency that is getting doled out by that C-hip and all the other things, it's being controlled by the international bankers. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, so on and so forth. The DuPonts, the Gettys. These quote-unquote major all Edomites too. This is who you see as the cream of the crop here on the earth. Ain't nobody, doing better. Ain't nobody more successful than Rothschild. That's the pinnacle of success here in Babylon the Great, and in the world as well. See, because these other nations, they aim to be like the elite. All right, they know about the elite. They aim to be like the elite. You would think that somebody who's trying to completely fucking destroy you from inside out, you would think that you would be upset at them. No, they want to be like. See, Moab wants to be like Esau. Like brothers constantly go into. They want to wear the suits. All the ways of Esau Edom, they want to follow after that, and then they want to put their twist on it. All right, the Lord ain't having that. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is up next, not these other nations. Okay, and he's gonna prop up his elect, the elect of the nation of Israel. He's gonna prop them up, man. So all this talk about who's next, the Lord about to set us up with rulership. Lord's will were of the elect, man. Slakia. Proverbs 11 and 22. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. So you gotta have discretion. You gotta know what is going on, what's taking place. See, once again, our people are spiritually retarded. They can't see that this link up. This is the first time they done had an event together. All this damn time they talking about, what they gonna do to this place, what they gonna do, and they ain't never just all three met up at an event with a bunch of weapons and said, okay, yep, this what we got. So it's a significance to that. It ain't just another day. Every day we get closer. Every day we get closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushua's return. It says the desire of the righteous is only good. Yeah, so we only want to be in the kingdom, right? Ruling over the heathen, serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua by being perfect. We're going to serve the Lord in the kingdom of heaven by being righteous. Praising Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We ain't going to get all the way to the kingdom and then all of a sudden, okay, y'all go do y'all's thing. I ain't got to be y'all's power no more. You perfect. You good. No. We're going to still call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We going to call on him in our perfection. Calling on the Lord perfectly. So we'll be praising the Lord perfectly. Proverbs 11 and 23. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Yeah, death, destruction. See, because ultimately, these other nations, they want to establish themselves the same way that Esau did, through violence. They ain't coming to an event with resolutions. They got weapons. Okay, they got weapons. That's how they gonna see. They think they gonna out swordsman the swordsman. Esau Edom, that nigga the ultimate swordsman. Esau surgical with it. All right, and it would be easy enough. It would be easy enough, for America to just, send troops and no, that's not part of the biblical prophecy. The scriptures don't speak about, America going overseas and subduing the nations and everybody being, up under their rule and there is no nukes and then the Lord comes back. No, it's prophesied for this place to be destroyed by the nukes, intercontinental ballistic missiles, nuclear missiles, shot off by all the other nations. America's through. There ain't no like reestablishing of this place. It's through. This place done fell off. Anybody with half a brain can see how bad this place has fell off. Yet, once again, our people are spiritually retarded. Proverbs 11:23. Once again, see, we gonna keep on. I hate hearing the same thing. I hate hearing. That's the mindset of a fucking fool, right? This you could do an hour video just based off of one precept. Now, of course, brothers don't. That's not really something that brothers do, but it has a capacity to do that. These scriptures can be broken down and broken down and broken down and broken down. Just like when you break anything down. If you got a hammer and you break a plate, that plate is going to break, into 4 pieces. You hit it again, them 4 pieces going to turn to 8. You hit it again, them 8 pieces going to turn to 16, so on and so forth. Same with the scriptures. The scriptures are broken down. Right? The heathen can't break down the scriptures. So even when we're making these videos, people are like, what the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? What is he talking about? That's why the Lord calls us to be separate. You ain't gonna see us, in the fucking middle of the subway making a video. No, you might be in a public setting. You might be at like a park or something like that. Yet, somebody comes around, you get up, you walk away. Because these words have a meaning to it. The words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua have a meaning to it. So you're not gonna be sitting here breaking down the scriptures and then a heathen come out of nowhere and just, sit down. And you conversating with them. No, it's holy, separate. The Lord is a separatist. So the Lord separates. So if you ever, you go somewhere, you out somewhere, you at the store, you keep things separate. You ain't sitting here in line, talking to all these people. Now, of course, you may have a conversation or whatever, but we not really involved with these people, man. Can two walk together? Okay, let's say be agreed, roughly paraphrasing. So if they don't align with you, shit, ain't nothing to talk about. Right? Because the expectation of the wicked is wrath. We want good. Good and wrath are completely polar opposites. You got good is all the way on the right side over here. And then you got wrath, which is all the way on the left side. That's separate. And that's balance. The Israelites are the righteous. The heathens, y'all are the wicked. And then, it's even more balanced because the Lord made 2/3 of our people wicked. So that's even more balanced. So even amongst our people who are supposed to be the righteous, most of them just ain't shit on this side. Yet, we know for a fact that all Israel is going to be saved. You know, which, let's see if I can. See if I can just have that there without having to look it up. It won't allow me to scroll down. So, Lord's will, just hold that. Proverbs 11:24. There is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Yeah, so the Lord is building up the elect of the nation of Israel. He's put the Israelites all throughout the four winds of the earth. All right, that's a power move. That's what you call a power move. The Israelites are everywhere. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. Yeah, so we out on the highways and byways proclaiming the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We gonna be blessed. Okay, because you got a lot of Israelite men who have heard this truth, and y'all just went right back to what y'all was doing. The Lord gonna get your ass too. A lot of y'all who think it just wasn't for me. The whole Israelite thing just wasn't for me. The Lord gonna get your ass, man. May Yahweh Hashem Yahushua get you niggas. Cause you thought you was gonna slip in, talk shit, and then step out. You thought you was gonna slip. Talking about boxing here. You thought you was gonna throw a jab and slip, and then throw a hook. No, you just getting fucking jabbed. Hey, through the Spirit, we not even throwing out no hooks. We not throwing out no overhand rights. We just jabbing and moving. Jabbing and moving. And that's enough. We can stick to the light points and take on you Christians, man. You Christians, you niggas in Islam, everybody else. Okay? It's the elect versus everybody. Proverbs 11:27. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor. Yeah, so the Lord, we're going to be found in the Lord's favor as we seeketh good, these scriptures. But he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall. Yeah, so all this money, influence, that's just gonna fall. This place is over with. These people, they so confident in what they got, whether that's a job, a certain position. It could be what they, quote unquote, what they've built. Whether that's getting an inheritance or something passed down to them. That's what they lean on. They don't lean on the Lord. These people, they're faithless. The scriptures speak about that. Letting the faithful die in their unfaithfulness. Roughly paraphrasing. Proverbs 11:28. He that He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. Woo! What's that branch? What's that branch? Israel. The Israelites. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Also, those of you who may look like the other nations, yet your line goes back to Israel. Proverbs 11 and 29, it says, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. Yes, you... Let me backtrack, because I heard the word wind, and you think of the wind of the missiles. So you imagine, the 2/3 in the flames, so you get a little bit excited, because you're thinking about all the people that are coming up against this word, whether openly or secretly as well. All right, Proverbs 11:29, it says, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. Yes, so you troubling your own people. You 2/3 niggas who keep trying to come up against the truth, who keep trying to come up against the men of the Lord, come up chiefly before any and everything else, you coming up against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Forget us. We ain't shit. We ain't nobody. You done came up against the Lord, man. The actual Heavenly Father and His Son. All right? That's why 2/3 of our people, they gonna feel that. It says, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. So that's gonna be your inheritance. Okay? That's your fucking inheritance. You're gonna inherit the wind. Okay? And then in the kingdom, you're gonna come through the loins of the elect. Now the elect will be gifted twice. The elect are gifted twice, both on this side and in the kingdom. See, because Lord's will we be of the elect, we've been given the tools needed, for quote unquote success. Which is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding coming from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Us understanding these scriptures. That's success. That's true success. Inheriting the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Proverbs 11:29, continuing. And the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. Damn. So you're through. You're through. The heathen, yeah, sure, y'all can, talk shit. Do what y'all need to do. Because eventually you're gonna serve us. You're gonna serve us. We ain't never gonna get tired of y'all serving us. We ain't gonna say, man, I'm tired of the heathen doing things for me. I'm gonna just do it by myself or for myself. No, we'll hey, that's the beauty of the Lord. The Lord is gonna have us perfect in the kingdom with the ability to do everything by ourselves. If we wanted to, we could just snap our fingers and a palace can be made. No, we want you to do it. We want you to do it. We built up your kingdom, so you're gonna build up our kingdom. And you're gonna do it with haste too. See, Esau Edom does everything slow. There needs to be permits. Then that's got to be approved. Different phone calls got to be made. No, when we put your ass to work, Like Brother Godal like say, wait. You get put to wait, that is gonna be instant. Hey man, the moment we get the chance, you're not going go into captivity a second later than what it has to be. As soon as the Lord gives us the go ahead, your ass is in captivity. You're through. This is something that we wait. This is something that we wait patiently for. All right, Proverbs 11 and 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. All right, these scriptures lead to life. And he that winneth souls is wise. All right, so we bring out the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the Spirit resonates with the elect. Lord, and Lord's will, we've brought, brothers and, sisters too, as well, into this truth. Now, of course, sisters don't, go out on the highways and byways and teach. Yet, through serving their man, through being up under their man, right? They're also getting that knowledge and that wisdom, but that comes from your husband, having certain things broken down. Proverbs 11 and 31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth. Payback. It's over with. The Lord got us. All right? The righteous shall be recompensed in the earth. Much more the wicked and the sinner. So the payback is also coming for the wicked and the sinner. Now, the only people that can sin are the Israelites. The heathens, they're the fucking heathen. They're going to do all sorts of things that are contrary to the scriptures. Yet the Israelites are held to a specific standard, which is written all throughout the scriptures. These are laws, statutes, and commandments. Once again, Proverbs 11 and 31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth. Much more the wicked and the sinner. Yes, you're going to get it, man. You're going to get it. And Lord's will, we're of the elect. We don't get it. We don't get the wrath of the Lord. Because of the wrath of the Lord, you don't want it. Salakia, we don't want it. We don't want it. It's, hey, man, the Lord can jack your ass up, man. Quick, too. It don't take, it ain't gonna take 30 business days for the Lord to just get active. It can just be immediately. It can be before you even know it. Okay? And I was gonna read down. I'm gonna just read real quick. Before this starts messing up again. And Barakatha Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that it hasn't messed up this time. It's been fucking up. It's killing me. You'll do a video, 30, 20 some minutes into a video, whatever the case is, and it'll mess up or this or that. Or you might not even notice that, the circle, you might not even notice that the circle is there till you look. The timestamp down there is blank. But anyways, Beijing revealed Kim's inclusion on Thursday when it unveiled the guest list for the parade. Trump won't be attending, nor will most European leaders. Instead, Xi is set to be joined by the leaders of countries including Iran, Pakistan, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Then it speaks also about South Korea. They're showing off the military might, right? Thousands of troops, with the latest weapons. So they're flexing their muscles, which, in the scriptures speaks about the weak, proclaiming themselves as strong. Roughly paraphrasing, scriptures say, that the weak will say that they're strong. So the weak, the formerly weak, they're strengthening. And we're seeing that, right before our eyes. Okay, and we're paying attention to that. All right, we're using discretion. We're seeing, this is biblical prophecy. All these different, we search through and we comb through, we match the things that are happening to biblical prophecy. All right, and we learned that from our elder apostles of Great Millstone. Okay, and how we're able to do that is through the Holy Spirit. So we're gonna, continue to keep our eye on this. All right, and this is just precursors, because once the CHIP comes about on a worldwide scale, it's gonna get to popping. All these things are being set up in place to start popping. It hasn't popped off completely yet, but it's getting around. It's getting around to it, right? The scriptures speak about, though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely not tarry. And that ultimately is balance. There's a balance to that. Because, 2/3 niggas and the heathen likes to say, see, it says it's going to tarry, and it says it's not going to tarry. Well, how can it not tarry, but then tarry? No, that's balance. The Lord is all about balance. And the Lord is showing us that, if we continue to seek Him, if we continue to go after Him, He's going to continue to reveal His marvelous light. He's going to continue to shine His marvelous light on us. Lord's will, He continues to shine His light on us. All right, so with that, Lord's will, you are edified. Call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, once again, who rule well and teach well, from the elder apostle Tahar on down, as well as the sincere salutations to the elder bishops, and enough respect to you brothers worldwide, teaching and preaching the words of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Barakatham to you brothers. May the Lord continue to push you brothers, all the way up until the end. Okay, Lord's will, you brothers are of the elect. All right. We'll continue to pray for brothers. I'll let you brothers continue, to pray for each other as well. Ask for you brothers to pray for me as well. Praying for you brothers. All right, you brothers keep pushing. These people, they spiritually retarded. They can't see the significance, of these, these heads, so to speak, coming together. All right, shalom.